A good reputation is better than fine perfume. The end of life with a good name is better than the day of birth. Everybody needs to think about the end of life because everyone will die. It's better to reflect on life's serious matters than only to go to parties. Everyone needs to think about the end of life. Sorrow is better than laughter because sorrow teaches things that laughter can't. A person who laughs his way through life is a fool. A wise man thinks about the end of his life as well. It is better to have a wise man rebuke you than to have a fool tell you how great you are. When a fool laughs, it's like a crackling fire. It doesn't mean a thing. When a wise man cheats, he's acting like a fool. If he takes a bribe, he pays for it with his reputation. The end of something is better than its beginning because you know where you've been. Patience is better than pride because pride cannot be trusted. Don't let your frustration turn into anger. Getting upset or holding a grudge is foolish. Don't keep wondering why the former days were better. Only fools live in the past. Wisdom is like an inheritance. It's only useful to those who receive it. Wisdom is like a shelter in a storm. It gives greater security than money. Wisdom is better than knowledge because it protects those who have it. Stop and think about what God has permitted to happen. When things go right, be glad and thank God. When they go wrong, go to God for help. Only He knows what tomorrow will bring. In this life, I've noticed two things that are hard to understand. A righteous man suffers and dies before his time, and a wicked man lives a long life of sin. Don't be smugly righteous and don't act like you know it all. Don't be a fool and live a life of sin. Don't overwork and die before your time. Don't go to extremes on anything. Make God the center of your life and you will be content. One wise man can do more for a city than 10 government agencies. There is no one alive who does everything right. There is no one alive who never makes a mistake. Don't try to listen to everything everyone says. You might hear your own servants saying bad things about you. Remember that you also said things about people in public or private that should not have been said. I have tested everything I'm saying, and this is what I have decided. Above everything else in life, I would choose to be wise. But I finally realized that wisdom is not something you can earn. Whatever wisdom is, it is hard to define and hard to grasp. Where can you go to buy it? And how do you find out where it is? I decided to study and research to understand how things work and to learn as much as I could about everything. Maybe then I would be wise. The first thing I discovered was the stupidity of wickedness and the folly of playing with sin. The next thing I discovered was that to be caught by the charms of a scheming woman is worse than death. She can bind a man like a chain. Her love is like a trap in which a man is caught and can't get out. When I put together everything I had learned, I was hoping to find some meaning to life, but found none. I also looked for other answers, but found none. I found only one man in thousands who was truly good, but a good woman was even harder to find. The one thing I have learned is that God made man to walk uprightly and to live an honest life. But man has misused his freedom and thought of many ways to do evil.